Hey, good morning, everybody. 9:36 here at Classic Hits. My name's Guillermo Garza, along with Javier Martinez Jr., and we have a special guest for you guys today. Primero que nada, I want to wish everybody Happy New Year. Want to thank everybody for being with us 2020. Hard 2020. Hope 2021's not as bad as 2020. We all hope that. Para explicarnos tantito de lo que está pasando, what's happening on today here. In our county, in our city, we have our local judge, Judge Luis.
Good morning.
How are you? Good morning.
How are we doing?
¿Cómo está?
It's
How
been
you
a
been?
long time.
Long time, right?
Yeah.
Well,
Y'all
everything
don't invite no more.
Ah,
Let's throw it back at you, right?
yeah. Boom. No pasa nada.
Yeah.
Judge, well, the thing is that, everything was kind of stable for a while.
Well, we had, at the beginning, we stayed with our 13 for 45 days,
Yep.
and then it sort of took off. We were starting to get the 60s and the 70s per day, and then it, sort of tapered down. But this last go around, we've been in the 20s and the 30s and the 50s per day, and it just kept on.
I'll go ahead and ask
It didn't taper off. What we're seeing again is the gatherings.
Yeah.
We do have quite a few restaurants that in the last, I would say in the last month, that you saw, a manager get it. And then we had 3 or 4 people, employees that got it.
get it. Mm-hmm.
And then over the Christmas holidays, we had one restaurant that, we got a lot of complaints on that their employees were positive.
And they were still going to work.
But the employees had to get together. At this one restaurant, they were advised not to have a Christmas party together. They did anyway. And now they want everybody else to go fix it. Well, heck,
It's
if
hard.
you hadn't had to get together the way you were told not to have it.
Yeah, you would have been good.
Yeah.
It's just common sense, and I think for me, it's been something that's repetitive. I mean, we're big boys, we're big girls here in our city. We've got a beautiful city, we've got a great county. The only thing is that we don't listen.
Yeah, no. And it just happened, over the weekend. I guess we made the list of by capita. We are the county and the city by capita in the state of Texas that had the most COVID cases in the last 7 days.
Wow.
That's not something that
we should be proud of. It's not something to be proud of.
It's not a distinction that we want.
No, it's not.
A little while ago, I was texting, and we're at 955 active cases right now.
Wow.
We hadn't been there in months.
In months.
But it is the gatherings. It is, people
It
going to
was
the homes.
it was Thanksgiving. It
And
was
Christmas.
It was Christmas. It's gonna be Christmas. It's gonna be New Year's. It's gonna be all that. So, what do you what do you think?
And then you're you get upset because you look at the
Exactly.
numbers and you can tell it's like a little spider web. This person here had it.
I went to this place.
And they didn't go. They got tested, but they didn't go home.
Mm-hmm.
They got tested and continued to do whatever they were doing in their life.
For the 2-3 days.
Until they got the results, and then you go back in there and trace the people that they had contact with. Now they're all positive. In 7 to 8 days. Again, we keep hammering on. If you're around somebody that's positive, or just say, let's take for example your household. The individual goes and get tested. They should stay home. The household should stay home. Everybody that lives with them should stay home. And then you going and getting tested the day after that individual in your house comes back positive does not do anybody any good.
No, you already know you have it.
And it should be 7 days from the day that they went and got tested.
Okay. So you'll be able
At least 7 days. That way you get an accurate test.
Okay.
But you're going and getting tested the day that
the day after.
Yeah. It's not enough time.
So your recommendation is if one of your household members got tested and he did come back positive, is to wait at least 7 days to be sure that you did get it, because you might be.
You could be negative in that little window the day after.
Exactly.
Roland just sent a text right now, 5 to 7 days. And I personally am more comfortable with 7 days.
7 days, yeah.
They're all saying 5 to 7 days or after 7 days. But no matter what the mix is, it's that 7th day is always in there.
Is
So
always
to
in
me,
there.
if you're gonna pick a day, pick the 7th day.
Pick the 7th,
or a little bit after, but don't go do it. Again, we have people that over 2 weekends ago that were testing positive. You know, his son, his brother, you know, somebody tested positive, and they live with him. So he went and got tested the next day. You know, and I get the phone call, I'm negative.
Well,
Well,
see,
yeah, you're gonna be negative. You know,
it takes about 5 to 7 days for the virus to actually show up.
show up
and
in the
sometimes
system.
it takes a little bit more than that. So you're right on that.
And the other
it's
deal
better
is
to wait.
also, Memo and Javier, you know, I don't know where all these people get their information. I think they just make this stuff up. And I'm not going to cuss while I'm here right now. I'm going to try real hard not to, okay? But, you know, you think that and we're having this problem over and over again with people, well, I already had it. I'm not going to get it again.
No, you do.
You know,
get
it don't
it.
work like that. After 2 to 3 months, if you come around it, you're probably going to get it again.
Yep.
You know, I had one guy call the other day, I'm good for 9 months. Well, who told you that? I mean, you
Yeah,
know,
how is that
how does that
possible?
work? You know,
No, you've got to be cautious. You got to be, like you're saying, it might be 2 months. They don't have an accurate reading on that. I've been looking at it. It could be 2 weeks, it could be 2 months, it could be 3 months. It just depends on everybody. Like everybody gets it differently. Also, you know, some people get it mild symptoms, some don't have any symptoms, some's got really bad symptoms. So it just depends on all that. Also, you could be good for, like you're saying, maybe 2 months or 2 weeks. You know, that's the strange thing about it.
And
You don't know how long. So you got to take the same precautions every day.
over and over again.
Every
Over and over
day,
again.
go out.
You
I
know.
was fortunate enough to see you during the weekend at Home Depot, and you know, everybody was. I saw it, trying to keep away, or at least the people that are conscious of it. You
No,
know?
and if you look, you know, we became a little lax. You know, it just sort of, you know, this is normal. We're going to be okay. And now with all the cases spiking, now you're seeing people stay away from each other again.
Again.
You know, and that's what we need. You know, it doesn't. It's not going to hurt us to have social distancing. It's not going to do it. You know, the restaurants a little while ago, you know, with the emails that we received from the state last Sunday and everything, from the state and from TABC, we did go down to 50%. I wrote an order to go down to 50% at restaurants, gyms, stuff like that, and then the bars to close. You know, we were at a restaurant yesterday, and you know, it's like the rules change, you know, but you know, I was texting right now, you know, the restaurants, you know, they can have 10 people at a table if they're from the same household. ¿Verdad?
As
You know?
long as they're
As
from
long
the
as
same.
they're
You know, from the
Okay.
same household, and that's the key word. You know, I mean, you need to keep your groups down, of course, but if they're from the same household, you know, up to 10. You know, we're not asking, and like I said in the video, two or three videos ago, you know, we don't want to shut people down.
Yeah.
I mean, we still have to continue to live. You know, you sort of like it when you go to a restaurant. And you know, they're at 50%. You know, and I hate saying this. I'm gonna get phone calls on this, but that there's a line outside. You know what I mean? Not because they're having a hard time sitting down, but at least those people are going and
And
buying and supporting the restaurant. You know, we were at Skillet's. Free advertisement, but we
They're sponsors. They're sponsors.
send them a bill. You know, and when we left, there was a line outside. You know, I was real impressed with Whataburger and Chick-fil-A because they were checking employees' temperatures, and we saw it when they were walking in. You know, at Manuel's yesterday también. It's just, it's
Yeah.
unbelievable.
They're
I
doing
mean,
their- they're doing
trying.
their part,
They're
yeah.
trying. They really are, and you can see this. You know, we again, and I will say this, that we take the phone calls seriously. We get a lot of complaints on different restaurants. You know, we had Blue Oasis, we had the Backyard and Bar 100, but we met with all them, you know,
Okay.
and all of them were real cooperative. They just wanted to make sure that you know, what do we need to do to stay open? And you tell us, and
And we'll do it.
they were doing it. You know, we do still have the complaints, and then you get the what gets me is
But is it sometimes the complaints for them not abiding, or is it just sometimes other type of complaints that they didn't get good service? Or
no, I think some of these people are just mad. You know, but the ones that get me is that you'll get the messenger and you get a picture or you'll get a Snapchat or whatever, and you'll get the picture and the people are standing. You know, we met with Bar 100, like I told them. I go, there was a picture taken over there, and I pointed from where, and I get the picture, and then look at what's going on. It's all wrong. And then about 5 minutes later, there's a picture from over there, and they took a picture of the person that sent me the first picture, you know, and they're, you know,
and they're not falling
yeah.
either.
So
yeah,
it's one of those deals that you know, come on, people,
we all gotta do
your
our part.
Yeah.
Do your part. I mean, it's real
don't
hard.
don't throw the rock and then hide the hand.
Yeah,
like they're
yeah,
saying, right?
yeah, and that's what they're doing. Which
Yeah.
to me, you know, one of them I told, I look, don't send me no more. Don't send me no more pictures because you're in the middle of it.
Yeah.
You know,
You're one of the
you're the bad part.
bad part of it.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
You know, and I didn't mean to just single them out, but
It's what it is. It's what it is.
Yeah.
It's what it is. Judge, obviously bars and restaurants, you made your new declaration, but what about as far as HEB and Walmart?
we don't have any restrictions on them.
Okay.
They do still have a limit on them, but their occupancy limit is so high that when we had gone to 50 and 25,
There's still a big
you know,
location.
yeah, it's way up.
Okay.
It's way up there.
Yeah.
I will tell you that we get the complaints, you know, and you know, I don't care. I'm gonna go ahead and say it. We get the complaints from people at Walmart and HEB. Well, so and so's not wearing a mask, and Walmart's not enforcing the masks, and usually the people that are walking in without a mask ain't from here. But you know what? This declaration is statewide. It can't be that,
Yeah.
you know, well, they don't enforce
They
it in
don't
my
enforce
town.
it,
It's a statewide declaration. You know, it's a governor's order. You know, we were at a restaurant, I guess 2 weeks ago, and there was 4 people sitting at the bar, and they were from out of town. Well, we don't do it. You know, you know, I
Yeah,
don't care.
yeah.
You know, I really don't care.
You gotta wear
you know,
one here.
wear your mask, and you know, these people are going to provide you with excellent service, but please wear your mask.
Yeah.
Don't be stupid.
He said, Judge, can you please make a higher fine for the places as far as restaurants? So
What
That's
the governor has set forward is maximum $1,000 fine.
okay,
We will begin to go out to some of the restaurants this week, and I hate nailing, you know, just keep hammering on the restaurants, you
Yeah.
know, because there's other people that are just as bad, ¿verdad? But that's one place that we can start, and
I think
we
that's
have the
where
most calls from.
yeah, I think that's where we all go. I
Yeah.
mean, we all go always to go, you know, at least once or twice a week, go out and try to go eat at a place
At a
or a
place.
restaurant or go buy some food and stuff like that. There are some restaurants that they have their lobbies closed now, right? It's
Well,
just drive-through.
we
Curbside.
yesterday we actually went. And I'm telling everybody to stay home, and we went to
No,
movies.
but
We went to
you
the
gotta,
movies last night.
you
Well,
gotta go out and have a sense of normal, but safe.
At some point,
Yeah.
at some point, we went to the movies last night. There was 8 of us in the whole theater.
Theater.
You know, and my wife takes, you know, little baggies of wipes, so it's like it took us 40 minutes before we sat down. You had to clean everything. But after we left, we went to Jack in the Box, which that isn't what we call it, but we went to Jack in the Box, and their lobby was closed, and they had a line, you know. And then you look over at Wendy's, and
They had
they had a line.
Yeah.
You know, Whataburger, they've got 3 lines. You know, Burger King también.
Yeah.
You know, and as you look inside, you know, there's yellow tape everywhere. You know, where before they just had the little table marked.
On-
but
Marked over, yeah.
This
But
one's
now they
closed.
don't want you there.
Yeah, they don't-
So now they got it taped off with yellow tape, which we appreciate that.
Yeah.
You know, we really do.
And like you're saying, that's not only going to help customers, but it's actually going to help the people that are working there because, you know, like you're saying, a little spider web. This, if I go in there and I have it, and I give them $1 or $2, or I pay with money, they get it, and then they go back,
Yeah.
and you know, it just spreads all over.
And you know, we've been doing this since March, and
Yeah.
it's the same thing over and over again. You know, the basics have not changed. You know, sanitize, wear your mask, try to keep your social distance from somebody. You know, and it's really hard. You know, Christmas and New Year's, and you know, a lot of people had the gatherings, and we're already seeing it on the phone. We're already seeing it when they're with the emails, the tracing. The whole household here has it, and now that house over there has it. Pues es el
Eran
primo.
primos.
Yeah,
el
it's
primo,
el primo.
yeah.
And they were all together.
Yeah,
And-
eran hermanos.
Yeah, you
we've
go.
been
You
married.
went to Stripes over the weekends of this holiday. People were carrying 3 or 4 bags of ice. I mean,
Yeah.
that's only letting you to know there's something
Yeah.
going on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's just like
And we're gonna feel it, and then before
We'll-
the end of
we'll
January,
see
we'll
it.
feel it. We'll see it. You know.
Now we do have that COVID place where they do the testing.
The kiosk?
Is that do you know if that's still going to be available?
It's
for
still
people?
available. We had a phone call this morning. We had talked with the individual that is responsible for the state of Texas for the kiosks.
Okay.
And we talked to him 2 weeks ago because they were getting pushed out 3 and 4 days for appointments. But when I come into town in the morning, it's full. But I go back about 11 and there's nobody there.
There's nobody there.
I go back after lunch and, the 4 or 5 people are around a table outside eating or whatever they're doing. And I'm not blaming them because, they're seeing a lot of people, but there's nobody in line.
Yeah.
Okay, so my concern, and a little while ago when we got off the phone with Roland, was, can we get this individual back on the phone and explain to him, and maybe we want to see the numbers, ¿verdad? Because when they were pushing people back, 3 or 4 days, or I guess it was around the 17th, 18th,
yeah.
and then they were pushing them back. We visited with the guy from the state, and his deal was, well, we have 284 slots during the day, but I've got 240 slots available today. And I said, well, but that's not what we're being told.
Yeah, that's not what we're being told. And that's the weird thing. I know last week, it closed, I think, on Friday because of the weather, because of the weather and all that. And is it what we were told? Is it going to be on the 4th or on Saturday? Right? It was open again, but it was just, like you said, a lot of people in the morning, but then around midday there was nobody there.
There was nobody there, and I'll tell you that we went to Eagle Pass, and they're taking appointments and this and that, but they took a lot of people that, when I went to visit with them, one of the individuals there, they took people as they were walking up, and here they're wanting by appointment is what I'm hearing.
Yeah, see, I pulled it up here real quick. They got slots open after lunchtime.
Yeah,
they got here. You got
it there.
9. You got another 2 slots open after 1. So there is time. It's just people can't be picky when you want to go.
Yeah,
that's just a simple truth.
No,
you know?
and
you gotta go.
Well, the only thing that he's saying, Junior, is that can it be people not just having to have an appointment, but if you've got free time, maybe you're at work, you can go take your lunch time.
And another thing that they're dealing with at the kiosk is that there's quite a few people, and we were given a list, not of names, but slots that they didn't show up. They made an appointment. They're holding the person's slot. You don't show up. Make a phone call. Do something. And again, you go to these kiosks and you test. It's same as going to the hospital, same as going to Stat, to the clinics, downtown. You need to stay home till you get your results.
Yeah.
And that's the problem that we're having, is that they're not staying home.
After the test.
So, and you went and got tested.
Because if you're going to get tested, it's probably because you have doubts, right? If you have doubts of might have symptoms, or you learned that your compadre or your comadre had it, or your brother or sister or whatever. So that's where you're going. And if you're going to take up a slot, or if you don't feel like if you have it, but you want to be safe sometimes, because sometimes you got that in your mind. Do I have it? I don't want to be spreading it around. And the good thing is, if you get tested, then don't go out.
Yeah.
Like you're saying, till you get the results back.
And we can see it, the tracers and everybody, the doctors and Roland and John, everybody's doing such a good job now that when they get that name, they go back and look where he's been, what he's done, and you're spreading it. In those 3 or 4 days, you're contagious. If you're positive, you're going to be contagious. You can't go to work. And when you go home, keep your spouse home.
Yeah.
And they're going to work, and now, oh my God, I don't understand how, I'm positive and now he's positive, and at work 7 other people that we got to send them home because he tested positive. He wasn't.
Well, yeah,
it's common sense. People stay home. I mean,
Now, Judge, how, obviously when we had our spike prior to this one, how well more we prepared this time, obviously with contact tracing, where we can respond faster, give them results quicker, and let them know. How were we this time better prepared?
We had more tracers.
Yeah.
The city had hired more tracers. The city helped us with our tracers, which was different from the last time. And there's actually a deal on the agenda for our deputies to get paid more overtime because they hit their limit. So they were serving papers. I think they might have taken off on the 1st a little bit, but and it was just because a bunch of them were being sworn in and stuff, but they all went back to work. So there's an item right now. They're putting in a massive amount of
hours,
of overtime, hours. And they were before too. But I think back then it was like, oh, we need to do this, we need to do that. We're doing it
Yeah.
¿verdad? And not to throw rocks at anybody because, you know, we thought we were prepared for the worst, but when you start getting 70 to 90 cases a day for 5 days in a row,
it starts
it's
getting
overwhelming.
ridiculous again.
It's
Yes.
overwhelming, you know.
And
we,
that-
we didn't have the tracers, you know. I mean, we'd hired a couple people on the county side. The city went in and hired some when all that was spiking. So we're prepared, and we hired 3 more on our side than what we had. I mean, it's just, you know, we were better prepared, but again, then you can't find the people. I mean, you know, again, they're not at the house.
Are you serious?
You know, yeah, they're supposed to be at the house and they're not
Wow.
at the house. You know, so again, we're running into the same situation, and right now, because there's so many of them, it just makes it worse. The little spider webs get bigger and bigger and bigger. You know, the vaccine, we're having questions on the vaccine. I had asked Roland and John, when we started all this, in March and April, we were having meetings with Border Patrol, Liliana down at the port, Ms. Flores, Sheriff, both school districts. And they do have what they call a huddle that you know, that some of those individuals are part of. But we're all getting different questions on the vaccine. And even the individuals that we're asking that should have the answers, they're just as confused as I am. And they're the ones that's supposed to be giving me the answers. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's hard.
So different parts. So I've asked for this week to have another one of those meetings by Zoom or whatever, just to call in and maybe between all the government entities, the hospitals, the school districts, let's try to piece together a little bit that everybody's heard that is the truth, and then come up with a set of questions that we can ask the state and go back and ask our agencies. This is what these are the questions that we have, ¿verdad? And try to get the answers. You know, we did get vaccine here, we did get some in here, but we only got 600.
Okay.
You know, it's just not enough.
It's not enough.
You know, the tier 1, our first responders, our nurses, and our doctors. Well, you know, it's just not enough.
Yeah.
You know, we go to 1B, 1C, whatever, but you know, people are concerned about the elderly.
Yeah,
you know,
the seniors,
you know,
yeah.
when are they going to get it?
Yeah.
You know, the other deal is,
Like
you know,
nursing
we've had
homes.
concerns also, you know, out at the jail. You know, when are the inmates going to
Inmates
get
gonna
it? You know, and like I was telling them, you know, I think the guards should get it. I think the doctors and the nurses, our first responders should get it. Our elderly should get it. Our teachers should get it.
The teacher, yeah,
¿Verdad? I mean, at what you know, when
They're
are they going to be in line?
Yeah,
Before
no.
some of these other groups that are standing up and said, "Oh, we want to get it." Well, you know.
It's something hard, yeah.
Yeah.
That we need to all. I think, like you're saying, there should be, and there probably is an order of who's getting it. Like you're saying, first responders.
And there's an order. Again, the only problem is though that, you know, if you open up a box of vials, they're only good for a certain amount of hours. So
Okay.
you got to give it. You know,
you got to
we've-
get everybody in line that
yeah,
needs to.
and you need to give it to them. So if you're looking for that other person because they ain't showed up, so who are you going to give it to? You need to give it to somebody, ¿verdad? You only have a certain amount of hours
Before
that vial's
before-
good.
Okay.
¿verdad? You know, and that's what my deal is. We just need to be that we're all on the same page.
Yeah.
You know, I do better with stuff. You know, I'm sitting here looking at the paper if it's in writing.
Yeah.
You know, I want to see it. I want to see something documented, and I know what the governor's orders and what the federal government says. We've read it and reread it, but I just want to make sure we're all following it, ¿verdad? You know,
We all need to do our part.
and who's going to get it? You know, you have a supplement from TDAM. There's different people that are going to get vaccines different ways.
Okay.
I just want to make sure that y'all are on the same page, and that way we can sort of check your people off. You know, that
Yeah.
if we have extras or whatever, they've already gotten it.
Then we'll
Joe was just saying, if have you had obviously I know for sure you'll stay in constant communication with the school superintendent, but is there any as far as schools with such a drastic number in them? I said, I mean,
You know, we had a conversation with Dr. Rios, I think day before yesterday.
Okay.
And I think another one yesterday. A day before yesterday, and then I think one yesterday morning. You know, those are decisions, and I don't want to get off and start answering
On behalf
what
of-
they
Yeah,
might be
what they
doing
might
or
be.
whatever, and then you create more more
Problem.
mystery or
More
whatever,
mystery, yeah.
I will tell you that their school board is being kept informed. Their school board is engaged. Dr. Rios is doing a good job with that, and I don't want to stick my spoon in their coffee type deal.
Okay.
I will tell you that, are we in constant contact? Yes.
Yes.
Okay.
Okay.
¿Verdad? They do have a plan, and their review, it changes.
Yeah, it depends on
just
what
changes.
on what's going on. It's going to change daily. It's going to change
And
weekly.
it's just going to depend on how many kids get it.
Yeah.
The other thing is that you got to think of too. I mean, they're in a tough spot because you have a lot of teachers and a lot of parents that, what am I going to do with my kids?
Exactly. You got to go to work.
Yeah, and some of these kids that even have opted to stay home, they're not making it.
They're not. Yeah, there's a lot of high failure rate from what I'm hearing.
So they got to take all that into consideration. Is the safety number one foremost concern?
Yes.
Of course, right? But there's a lot that goes into this, and then at the end of the day, they make a decision and say, okay, we're going to shut down. They still got to go ask for permission.
Yeah.
So
it's not just them wanting to do something. It's them having to get the permission, and it goes back to the same thing. We all need to do our part, like you're saying. What is that? Well, not going out, or if you have to go work, just go to work, and then from there go back to your house. Try to be less exposed. The less exposed you are, the better for you guys, and for the kids, for my wife, for your wife, for your kids, for everybody here in town. And like you were saying also, if you guys are going to get tested, remember not to go out for those 2 days or 48 hours or 24 hours, depending on how
just until
how
you get
fast-
your results back.
Yeah.
I mean, Jesus.
And I think we got a good question here, and I've been reading all your questions here. Everybody commenting on Facebook. From Ms. Lupita says, question to the judge: if a person had the virus, but now a family member of the same household got sick, does that recovered person stay home also?
That, my opinion is, if you're spent your 14 days and you have no symptoms,
you should be good.
and you get your release, you should be okay.
You should be okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
you should be fine. What we have seen is that I think we've had one case, if I'm not mistaken, that a little after 2 months, the individual got COVID again, was positive, did his 14 days, got another test, tested negative. About a month later, and some of these people will still test positive
Month and
a
months.
month, a couple months after, but they're shedding it, but they're not contagious.
Okay.
That's what I'm being told.
That's
Okay.
the difference there.
Yeah.
That you can supposedly it's the first 5-8 days that you're
So many days,
able to-
3 or 4
able to-
days before you get tested, more or less show symptoms, and 4 or 5 days afterwards.
Okay. So that's when
you
you're
have a
more
window
contagious.
there
Yeah,
that
we
you're
have
contagious.
a window there. Judge, second question here coming on our.
And I hope I answered that right. And Dr. Lauda and Roland. Don't
No le
be mad.
regañes.
Yeah,
No lo
por
regañes.
favor, yeah.
But, I mean,
No, 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 no,
overwhelming support on Facebook comments.
Yes.
They're just saying
Glad
a
to
lot.
have you back, dice
a lot of
aquí,
people missed you on the radio.
thank you.
A lot of good ones there. And a person actually answered to one of us that they've gone twice without an appointment to the curative, and they got tested right away. So
Yeah,
I
it's
mean,
possible.
it is possible.
Mhm, it is possible.
It is. You guys are offering a great service. Now, when you think, are we going to stay with one, or we might get?
We have asked for another one.
Okay.
We've actually asked for a mobile.
Okay.
That will, the one there on Veterans.
Yeah.
The Sudais have been wonderful to let us leave it there.
Okay.
And I think it's in a great location.
Okay.
I think if we could bring in a mobile, like I told them, heck, I'll make it mobile. Just get me the facility and I'll throw it on a trailer.
On a trailer.
They weren't going to go for that. So what we've asked for a mobile one is try to get to the communities. We do the Valverde
Maybe-
Parks, do
maybe,
the
yeah.
Synagogues, do the Comstock,
2-3
and then
days at
help
each
with
one.
do the inside the city limits. It isn't just going to be outside the city limits. This is a team effort.
Yeah.
¿Verdad? But I think if we can get it to some of these spots, I will tell you that some what we've been looking at the last couple of days, we have areas within the community, like a certain area there's a lot of people, whether it be San Felipe, whether it be Valverde Park, whether it be Cinegas, but you have areas
that have spikes.
that are more people than
yeah.
more people that are positive than in other areas. And I'm going to go out on a limb on this, and I know before I get the phone calls, there's more Hispanics than Anglos, therefore we're going to have more. Okay, got past that. But the group that is being infected the most, even by percentage, is the Hispanics. And then you have family members.
Somos los más fiesteros por eso.
Well, and we're used to hugging and kissing. I mean,
yeah.
Before you go in, people say, well, why don't you, the restaurants you keep. I said, look at the restaurants, they close them down more and this and that. But they wear a mask. They hand sanitize. You go off to go to somebody's house. Where's your mask? Inside the car.
Inside the car.
¿Verdad? And you go in, and first thing you do is, pues, la abuelita, la prima. You're hugging everybody, and as much as you say, oh, no, we're not. That's the first thing you do, because that's what we've always done.
Yeah, it is. And I think that's where we also need to think about our loved ones, because I prefer to leave my loved ones out of it. If I feel sick, or if I know I have it, or anything like that, I prefer just stay away. I remember back in March, my son came from that trip that was in Spain, and we stayed for 2 weeks there just to be safe. I didn't want to spread it out to any other guys here. I didn't want to spread it out to my mom at that time.
And you bring that up. That's what scared
everybody.
Scared the hell out of us. One cuss word, I'm allowed one. Scared everybody, ¿verdad? Because on the 11th, we were getting phone calls. Commissioner Nettleton called. What are we doing about this? There's just many people out there. We'd already talked to Dr. Rios. We'd talked to the other commissioners. I mean, it scared us.
Yeah.
So the next week on the 16th, 17th is when Monday, Tuesday, when everybody was coming
16,
back.
Yeah, it was on the 16th. Yeah.
I had those. Yeah, those dates are pretty much burnt in there.
Me too.
But it was that was a concern. And the first 4 or 5 people were from over there.
Yeah,
we're from the trip. And it is what it is, But
I think we
had a lot of people.
You got a hold of that, right?
No,
they came in,
there was 13.
There was 13.
We had
for a long
13.
time.
We had 13 cases for 45 days, ¿verdad?
Pero
And then
vamos
all
a
of a
lo
sudden
mismo.
it took off.
Yeah.
Vamos a lo mismo. It was the same thing. What happened? We had what was it? Veterans Day or
Easter.
We had Easter. Then
Mother's
we had
Day.
Mother's Day. Then we had graduations.
Labor Day? Was it Labor Day?
Labor Day.
Labor Day, yeah.
We had all those, and we saw that spike. We saw after those 2 weeks after that.
And then we had, I think, number 15, 17, 20, and 21 were the same family.
Yeah.
¿Verdad? One of them was a truck driver, and then the wife, and then it just took off, ¿verdad? And then from them you traced another 4 or 5, 2 weeks later
To that.
just to those first 4. So it was
So
one of those
they
deals,
said,
and it's just amazing when you go to look at who's getting it, and I shouldn't laugh at it, but you can tell. I mean, the tracers and everybody's, yeah, and you can tell where they got it from. You can see it. I mean, and again, it's not rocket science. I mean, it's that they were together. I had one lady that at the beginning of this, her husband had got it, and me and Joe Frank had even gone to leave him food and leave him, PPE and leave him gloves and masks and everything, and we took off, and I get the phone call from the wife, and she says, I can't believe I'm positive. All day long we're separated.
But we sleep together.
Yeah.
I remember that one. Oh, pero es que dormimos juntos.
No.
Hijo de su-
Well, he goes, I go, y ronca. He goes, pues toda la noche? All night long you snored. And I said, well, okay, we figured that one out.
Now, yeah, you gotta be separated 100% from your family. You gotta be on a different room, by yourself.
And you know what, Guillermo? It is possible. We do have households that the one person is tested, and the 2 kids and the wife or the husband have not tested positive. ¿Verdad? Have been in the same house, and it's possible. I mean, it really is. You don't have to go to a motel. If you can, if you have the funds and everything, it's probably better. But we have households that one person in the family tested positive. 2 weeks, 10 days later, from the time that they went and got tested, the whole family went to go get tested, and they're all negative. ¿Verdad? So it's possible.
Happens, yeah.
Just with a little bit of care.
Vamos a decir tantito en español, nada más de lo que estamos hablando desde el principio. Lo que nos comenta Joe Jones es de que pues, los casos están subiendo y es simplemente por fiestas, por las fiestas, por lo que ha pasado.
Pues donde se están juntando
donde
las
se están
casas,
juntando
¿verdad?
las
Están
casas
haciendo
para,
caso a la
para el
gente.
día de dar gracias, ahorita con Navidad, Año Nuevo. Por eso estamos viendo el aumento en casos. Lo que recomienda también para la gente que nos escucha en español es de que si usted va y se hace la prueba, va a ir al kiosco a hacerse la prueba, va a ir al hospital, a donde usted quiera hacerse la prueba, bueno, vaya, pero lo que tiene que hacer después de eso es irse a su casa y guardarse, o resguardarse más bien dicho, para que mientras recibe la verificación, bueno, usted no exponga a nadie más. Muchos los que se hacen la prueba, pues sí, se hacen la prueba, pero andan por arriba y para abajo y van a ver a la tía, van a ver a la hermana, a la mamá, y no, lo que tiene que hacer es ir a hacerse la prueba, vaya a su casa o resguárdese hasta que recibe la prueba, saliendo positivo, bueno, ya va a ver, le van a dar indicaciones, saliendo negativo, ya usted tiene algo para comprobar que se fue y hizo la prueba y no tiene que estar con esa duda. Pero mucha gente lo que está haciendo es, se hace la prueba, pero después se van al bar, se van a la tienda, a comer, a cualquier lado, y no es así. Si usted se va y se hace la prueba es porque tiene dudas si lo tiene o no. Entrando esa duda, usted lo que tiene que hacer es quedarse en su casa el más tiempo posible para que no se lo reparta a nadie más. Si usted está solo en su casa, bueno, quédese solo. Si usted está con su familia, aíslese de ellos. Si todos se la fueron a hacer, bueno, toda la familia es lo mejor, ¿verdad? Lo que recomendamos o lo que recomiendan.
No,
si
que digan, ¿verdad? También cuando vas con y recibir la prueba y duran 2 días,
Ajá.
3 días a lo mejor.
Mucho.
Ajá. Y si se quedan en la casa, también, entonces no hay posibilidad que le estás dando el virus a otra
alguien
gente,
más,
¿verdad?
exactamente. Y son 2 días nada más los que se tienen que quedar en su casa, pero como les digo, si usted va a hacerse la prueba es porque ya tiene síntomas, tiene algún tipo de síntoma, tiene síntoma de que traiga tos, traiga calentura, traiga dolor de cuerpo, traiga cualquiera de esos síntomas, ¿verdad? Eso es lo que usted tiene que hacer, es irse, hacer la prueba, pero después de la prueba irse a su casa, no salir, no tratar de contactarse con nadie. Si usted vive con su familia, bueno, hagan la cita, háganse la prueba todos y pueden convivir, como dice usted, en el mismo household, pero pues es mejor que se la hagan todos para que así verificar quién la tiene y no la tiene.
No, y también si ya que llegaron los resultados y pues eras positivo, ¿verdad? De nada sirve que tu familia que vaya ese día a ir a testear, ¿verdad? Necesitan esperarse 7 días del día que ustedes fueran, ¿verdad? Que fueron, ¿verdad? Al kiosco o lo que sea.
Ok. Sí, es lo que decíamos también. Si usted va y se hace la prueba y sale positivo, bueno, que su familia no vaya al siguiente día. Se tienen que esperar de 5 a 7 días para hacerse la prueba para que también... si se le hace la prueba el día siguiente le va a salir negativo porque a lo mejor todavía no se le desarrolla el virus, entonces hay que esperarnos de 5 a 7 días, preferible 7 días para que se haga la prueba y así haciéndose la prueba ya usted va a tener otros 2 días para verificar, tiene o no tiene, bueno, eso ya va a ser lo indicado y por eso estamos viendo estos casos, por eso estamos viendo el aumento de casos porque como dice el juez, muchos negocios hicieron pachangas de Navidad y en esos pachangas pues a lo mejor había uno que no debería haber ido porque estaba infectado, pero como quiera fue, al cabo no se los pega, uso la máscara, sí, pero no nada más es la máscara, lo que se tiene que usar es sanitizar y ya sabemos entrando el alcohol
ya se le olvida, se le olvida.
Y otra cosa que nos dice el juez y lo dice con todo el respeto y yo creo nosotros también es que nosotros los mexicanos o los hispanos somos muy cariñosos,
¿sí?
¿Verdad? Entonces, mézclale ser mexicano o ser hispano con el alcohol, pues somos más cariñosos que nada. Entonces ahí es donde tenemos que tener mucho cuidado de no contagiarlos, no ir a visitar a nuestros seres queridos, a nuestros abuelos, a nuestras mamás, a la gente que sepas que está más subsistible al virus, que lo puedan contagiarse más rápido, no verlos, y es nada más fácil. Como le hemos dicho desde marzo,
es la
lo único que tiene que hacer es quedarse en su casa. Claro, la vida sigue, la vida continúa, todos tenemos que seguir haciendo nuestras vidas, seguir trabajando, pero hay que hacerlo con responsabilidad, que eso es algo muy importante y eso es lo que no estamos haciendo. Y me incluye en eso también. Yo también a veces sí, no hombre, pues no pasa nada, pero ves, ay, aquel le dio y ya comienzas otra vez con el miedo. Y el miedo ese no lo debemos de perder hasta que nos pongamos la vacuna. Como dice también él, de las vacunas todavía no sabemos, ¿verdad? Ahorita se le ha dado a la gente que por decirlo así, más lo necesita, que son las enfermeras, doctores, que están combatiendo el virus. Son los que se los van a dar primero. Entonces hay que tener paciencia, hay que tener conciencia también de que todos estamos trabajando para lo mismo, pero todos tenemos que hacer nuestra parte. Como lo hacen también ellos cuando hacen la distribución de comidas, bueno, también no nada más es recibir, es también dar de nosotros. De nosotros también, en este aspecto de no salir tanto, de no irnos a los bares, de no irnos a los restaurantes, pues sí, puedes ir, pero como dice él, si vas a ir, que nada más sea tu familia la que se junta en esa mesa. Sí. Que no sea el vecino y vamos a invitar a la suegra y a la abuela y nada más si vas a ir con yo tengo 5, somos 5, vamos a esos 5, una mesa de 5 y hasta ahí. Esas son las recomendaciones, eso es lo que estamos esperando, que todos nos ayuden, todo del río ayude para hacer esto, para poder bajar estos números, porque estamos otra vez con los números de hace 6 meses, en julio, que subió los casos, y bueno, pues lo que hay que hacer es otra vez amarrarnos los pantalones, como dicen, y tratar de, no nos pasa nada, lo que pasa es que todos están a gustos ya, ¿verdad?
Yeah. No, y miras, ¿verdad? Fuimos a Home Depot el otro día y quién fuera pensado, ¿verdad? Que en los Estados Unidos, ¿verdad? Que vamos a tener que usar máscara y luego menos en Texas y luego menos en Del Río, pero todos andamos con máscara y así necesitamos seguir, ¿verdad? Everybody's reading text messages.
Yeah, I'm trying to ask so many questions. One question here, Judge, is saying, do you foresee you bringing down everything to 25% if it keeps going up?
You know, that would be in the governor's order. That would be something the governor would have to do. You know, in June, July. In June, he took a lot of the powers away from the mayors and the county judges that normally we would have. I do believe that, that was wrong, but you know what? He's our governor, and we're gonna abide by any decision that he comes up with, and we're gonna move forward. I think every county, every city is different, whether it be in the state of Texas or any other state, but we will support our governor, my governor. We will support him with any decisions that he lays forward.
Yeah. Dice aquí, KWMC, are you calling for mandatory vaccines? No, we're not.
No.
It's not going to be mandatory if you want to put it.
And you're even going to see, we're even seeing now that some of the individuals that already, whether it be nurses or doctors, you're already seeing them that some of them are opting out to get the vaccine. Not many. But we have one or two that I know of that, we're going to wait. Even though we're on the first tier, but we're just going to wait for whatever reason.
Aquí esto sí me cae medio gordo lo que dicen. Dice, obviamente esto es un mensaje para demócratas. No, este no es un mensaje para demócratas. Esto es para un mensaje para el condado de Valverde y todos sus ciudadanos. Aquí no estamos viendo partidos, no estamos viendo colores, no estamos viendo partidos, no estamos viendo raza, no estamos viendo nada. Estamos viendo que nuestro condado y nuestra ciudad está sufriendo. That's what we're seeing. We're not trying to be biased. También dice aquí, Junior is nervous, thinking he should or should not ask the question. It's not that. We just want to word it right.
Yeah, we want to word it right. Yeah.
It's people make assumptions that we don't want to ask you questions. It's not that we don't want to ask you questions. There's some questions that
pertain to what we're doing. Yeah.
But like you were saying right now, school district. You can't say something because you're not. You're not the school district.
And there's stuff that I've been told that in reality, and it's not really a big secret, but it's their job. And I'd hate to jump out here on something and then answer it wrong.
Yeah, and you're totally right on that. But people sometimes
and they have every right to complain, and everybody's got a conspiracy theory about something. But
because there's another side to this coin, and like I said, the part that really kind of, and I'm going to say it pissed me off, it says about Democrats. No, this is not about Democrats. This is a part of us putting some information. We brought the man in charge that's going to tell us al mero chile how it is. Because people lose their job. 50%. Restaurants don't have waitresses like it was at 100. that means 50% of their employees just got laid off
Yeah.
or unemployment.
They say
it's
because we
difficult.
skipped some questions, but I mean, Facebook goes, hiding the questions. But this is one. ¿Qué pasa cuando te dan diferentes resultados? Porque ya ha pasado. No
I can
entiendo la
tell you,
pregunta.
I can tell you that we have had cases that individual has tested positive. I will tell you at the very, very beginning, we had a case that an individual that worked in a nursing home had tested positive. She said, "There is no way I can't be positive," and so we waited, a day or so, tested her again. Not only did we test her with the antibody test, also tested her with the nasal swab, and guess what? They both came back negative. But the first test that they had done with the nasal, tested positive. I have no idea.
Yeah.
But the other
We're
two
not
tests,
doctors.
and I will tell you that that one still, I think, baffled everybody. We have had tests that the individual has tested negative, one day, and all of a sudden, 3 or 4 days later, they have symptoms, they go test, and they test them positive. And we've had some of those individuals that we've waited, a day or so and go get tested again. ¿Verdad? And we had 2 positives after they had a negative, But again, that one there is easy to explain because it wasn't enough time. They went to go get tested too soon. Are we getting different results? We have had some, It is what it is. I mean, you can't say that, it happened. It's happened. But on a large scale, no, it hasn't happened on a large scale. I mean, I think probably remember 5 or 6 cases that we've had issues with, if that many.
Yeah.
The one that really stuck out was the lady from the nursing home because she was adamant. There is no
way I can
Yeah,
get-
there's no way that
Yeah.
I'm positive. And we did retest twice with 2 different ways, and they both came back negative.
Aquí están peleando. Bueno, ya le vamos a dejar en eso. ¿Verdad? People can read it there. Their comments. Dice, people lost their jobs and you lose sponsors. Adios. Okay. Bueno, ni modo. Frank Lopez, these people have...
it's one of those deals. Also, you're not going to be able to make everybody happy.
No.
We're here.
I know,
We're
we're
here to
not.
be able to give them
Exactly.
as much information.
Answers that they want. I mean,
Yeah.
and especially that about Democrat. This is not going to any
Yeah.
personal or Democratic or Republican or anything like that. We're trying to inform all of our community.
Yeah.
You can't handle that if you don't like that. We have somebody on the phone line. Good morning, buenos días.
Hello.
Se me hace que we took a little bit too long. Sorry about that. Sí, me tardé
Give
poquito.
us a
Sorry
call
about
back,
that. Dice was here not...
I think that's something that you gotta ask the judge yourself personally, not us to
Thank
say
you,
that.
Judge.
I'm not gonna
KWMC
say that,
1490am
and I'll
updated.
clearly say that on there on the radio.
Yes,
That's something I'm not saying over the radio for that. Yeah.
Preguntan if you had it. If you had COVID.
If I've had it, no. I've been tested twice.
Twice already. I've been tested. I'm gonna be honest, and this is the first time I said I've had it. I had it because I had it back in August. I had it for 2 weeks. I've been testing every me and my family have been testing regularly just to be sure we don't have it. I haven't had any symptoms. I haven't had anything like that. But what happens is you become aware. You like me. I take all the necessary precautions that I can because you know what happens. You know how you feel. You know how what can happen. And one of those cases that you were saying is I was isolated from my family because I was fortunate enough, or I'm fortunate enough to have a house where my side or where we sleep that has a bathroom and everything. And I stayed on that side by myself. My wife would just drop off me food, and the little food that I could eat, I would eat it. But none of my kids got it. Tested, nothing. They didn't get it. They didn't get anything like that. So it can, as long as you take the necessary precautions. I'm living proof of that. Like I'm telling you, I did get it back in August. But from there now, hand sanitizer, mask. You won't see me without a mask.
You see the radio stations like
And you know
7
what?
bottles of sanitizer
And you
everywhere.
know what? And I would do this even before that. So when they ask you, how did you get it? Well, I'm not
I don't know.
sure. I'm not sure. It could have been I touched something and then I grabbed my face. It could have been a lot of things. And you don't know. The only thing I know is that we all need to be cautious. We all need to do our part. We all need to try to be as safe as possible, not only for ourselves, but for our family. Do we have a phone call, Junior?
Yes, we do, yes.
Okay, let's go ahead and answer this call. Sí, a ver que si no nos van a regañar. Good morning, buenos días.
Yes, good morning.
Yes, good morning. Dígame. Hello.
Yes, I had a question for the judge.
Yes, go ahead.
I went and tested positive on the 19th of this month, I got the order to hunker down at my residence, and I've been trying now to get released. It's already been 14 days. I've called the 830-282-0899 number. I called yesterday and today. It's been over 24 hours, but I get a machine, and I'm just trying to get somebody to get my release.
Okay. Let me give you my phone number, and I'm going to go ahead and get it out over the air. And you call me.
I'm sorry, can you hear me?
Yes, yes, he's here. Can you hear him?
Yes, I'm having problems hearing you.
Okay,
Hold on just a sec.
He's saying that if you could listen to us on the radio, he'll be giving you his number. That way you can give him a call directly, and he'll help you with that.
Yeah, and it's
Okay,
only
hold,
for and it's only
hold
for,
on just
it's
hold
only
on just
for
a
you.
minute. I need to get a pencil so I can get that number.
Not a
please.
problem.
Okay,
You
stand
tell,
by.
you tell me when you're
Stand
ready.
by just a sec.
Yeah, nobody else write this down.
Yeah.
Yeah, no. Well, I'm
No,
just,
it's all good.
no,
We're
no,
just
we're
playing.
here hunkered.
We're just playing.
Yeah, let me get a pencil real quick. I need to
Okay.
go to the other room.
Sounds good. Are you listening to us on the radio?
Yes,
Okay.
and that's the thing. You know, I've been calling that number, and I know the people are very busy. But also, I'm trying to get out of here. You know, these 14 days, you're getting cabin fever, and
Okay, you tell me when you're ready, and I'll give you a phone number.
okay. Let me. I'm still trying to get a pen. Stand by real quick.
Or give me your number. No,
Yeah,
don't
we
do
can-
that. Don't do that,
No,
because everybody
we
will have
don't
your
wanna do
number.
that, yeah.
Never
Okay,
mind.
hold on just a second. I'm just running around. Okay, what's the number I can call you at?
734
734
05
05
75.
75.
Yeah.
And this is Judge Owen's number?
Yes.
Yes.
Uh-huh. I was actually going to give you one of the commissioner's numbers, but that would have been me.
No.
That's my cell phone number, sir. Give me a call.
I want to get back to work.
No,
and
give me a call.
Get things back to normal, and if I could just get through to somebody just so they can give me that, there's a release letter that I need to get back to work.
If you want, that's my number. Send me a text
Okay.
with your name, phone number, and date of birth.
Okay,
Okay.
will do, sir.
Thank
All right,
you.
thanks.
Appreciate it. 1028 here at Classic Hits. 1028. Well, no, we've got a lot of other things here. Our masks mandatory
Yes,
still.
they're still
Yes,
there.
they're still mandatory.
Yes. Ain't
Isiki,
changed.
we need to enforce. We need to do a better job enforcing people that tested positive to stay home. Is that something that we can do?
You know,
It's hard. You would have to have a,
They're
a,
not
a
home.
police officer.
They're not home. Where did we go?
when we started off the program, we're over hours that
Yeah.
we can hold for our deputies. So we're gonna have to start paying overtime because the amount of hours they can roll over, we're there. We're gonna do an extension on those already, hopefully on Wednesday. Again, at some point, it needs to be our responsibility. I mean, as individuals, it needs to be our responsibility to take care of ourselves. We've been saying that over and over and over again. People that know me, I'm one of the ones that I really don't like being told what to do. And I've been put in a position that sort of goes against, the way I feel really. But at this point, if you're not paying attention, what we did with restaurants and bars, it had to be done.
It had to be done.
And when you start getting emails from the state and then now all of a sudden we make national news that we're the highest per capita on percentage-wise in the state of Texas. Valverde County is. It just goes to show we're not taking it serious.
Yeah.
And we could set up a task force. We could do all this. But at the end
But
of the
if
day,
we
we
still
still
do-
wouldn't catch them.
And if we don't do our part,
Mm-hmm.
we could put all the blame on everybody, and that's the bad thing. We try to blame, some of these texts that we got here. Some of them says, "Oh, lots of laughing." Yeah, we're trying to make it a little bit more amusing.
I've said on my videos. I mean, sometimes I giggle a little bit too much, but is the situation serious? Yes, it is. And you're not. I've learned now. You're just not gonna be able to please everybody.
Yeah, you're not.
It is what it is, And I
Either-
wish I have a saying that we have at the house. I wish I could say it here, but they've told me not to say it. But
we just need
at some point I'd like to And I do. The people that call me sometimes, you know, we have good conversations.
Yeah.
And usually when we do videos, we're up at, you know, till 3, 4 o'clock in the morning answering messages and everything
messages,
else, you know.
No, we know you. We know you do a good job, but it's not only you that has to do a good job; it's all the citizens.
No,
Not the citizens
it's
of
up to
Del
us.
Rio,
It's up to us. It's up to the individual citizens to, you know, to do our part. And you still have the, you know, these masks are no good. These masks are no good. But I will tell you that I've had quite a few people that have got it that I would see every day or 3 or 4 times a week, because you walk in somewhere, walk into the store, and they don't believe the mask, you know, and they just don't believe it, and this is a hoax. You know, I had one of them tell me, a couple of them tell me it was a hoax. One of the ones that told me it was a hoax, you know, he had it, and like he said, I wish there for a couple of days somebody had just shot me, because I really felt bad.
You do
You
feel
know,
bad.
but you know, it's just a shame that some of them had to get it before they
Before
believed
they
it.
believe in it. Yeah.
You know, but again, it's just like everything else. I mean, everybody's got their own opinion. We sort of have to, you know, just deal with that. Respect that, I guess, is the word.
And Judge, you know, like yourself, you know, you said you went out to the movies. You know, businesses are doing a great job of following those regulations, social distancing within there, with curbside. So, you know, we got to keep supporting those small businesses. Like, you know, you got a little sense of normal, even like you said, Miss Sylvia had like about 40 wipes before you sat down and cleaned the seat, you know, but it's, you know, everybody's doing their best they can, especially, you know, small business to big businesses. Like, I need to make sure it says H-E-B and Walmart. That's something totally different that you said, you know, is just such a big occupancy, you wouldn't
No, it
notice
wouldn't do any good.
Wouldn't do.
You'd never see a difference if we went by their occupancy load, that 50% or whatever. It's still massive.
They're asking
you
us
know,
if-
we had people calling from different businesses that complained the whole time that there was an occupancy limit on them. When the occupancy limit was raised, then they were calling that they wanted the old occupancy limit. They're like, pues, ¿quién te entiende?
Pues,
You know,
¿quién te
who
entiende? Primero
really
quieres más y
understands
luego
what you
no
want?
puedes.
Yeah, yeah. But, you know, the same businesses that were griping, now you know, we had their attorneys calling, you know, can you please,
Go back to
can you
50
do
or-
something, you know? And it's like, well, shit, you were the same attorney calling me
That you
to
wanted
lift
more.
it. Yeah, yeah.
They said, how about installing a curfew for the city to keep people home?
You know, that would be something that the mayor and council would have to consider, but Jesus Christ, again, you put more stuff on law enforcement that they have to go start checking cars, start doing this and that. They're already
hard
overwhelmed
enough
with what
already.
they're doing. I mean, it isn't fair. I mean, if you're going to impose something that we can actually enforce. I mean, you're at this point, I wouldn't do it. I just wouldn't do it. I mean, again, you're going to put law enforcement in a position that it's a lose-lose situation.
You're overworking them, working them
Yeah.
for no reason, just no reason
no,
at
We
all.
all just need to do our part.
Yeah.
It goes back to the same thing.
Yeah.
Bueno, it's already 10:34 actually here at Classic Hits. We want to thank you, Judge, for being with us. We're going to be in contact every week, see if you can come by or maybe give you a
let us
call.
know.
Give you a call, that way we can keep updated. But it's the same thing. Just remember, guys, if you go get tested, you need to stay home for those 2 days or 3 days that you get your results back. After that, bueno, you'll be good to go. And like you were saying, if you have any questions, you can give them a call.
Yeah. No, and again, you know, you need to quarantine. Your family needs to isolate.
Isolate,
It's
yes.
that simple. You know.
Fácil y
sí,
simple.
fácil, just-
Recuerden nada más en español, si ustedes tienen que, van a hacerse la prueba porque tiene algún síntoma, tiene dolor de cabeza, dolor de cuerpo, se siente mal, dolor de garganta, bueno, hágase la prueba, pero vaya y aísles en su casa. Si usted es el único en su casa, bueno, no tiene que hacerlo, pero si está con su familia, bueno, quédese en un cuarto hasta que reciba los resultados, que es en su casa lo más importante, hasta que reciba los resultados, y después de ahí ya van a saber qué. Si sale positivo, bueno, va a recibir indicaciones. Si sale negativo, bueno, ya tiene poquito más libertad de conciencia de que no va a andar haciendo o resparramando el virus. Y como dicen, ahorita todo lo que se ha hecho es por tantas fiestas que hemos tenido, por tantos pachangas que se han hecho, y eso es lo que nos ha hecho que los números suban. Y pienso que todavía van a seguir subiendo, van a subir un poquito
De seguro.
porque, bueno, pasó Año Nuevo, pasó Navidad y estos casos apenas se van a comenzar a ver a principios de año. Así es que lo único que tenemos que hacer es
De cuidarnos.
Cuidarnos, quedarnos en casa. Ahorita dije algo que a lo mejor estaba mal, ¿verdad? Dije que no saliéramos de sus casas hasta que se pusieran la vacuna. Bueno, no es. Yo digo es no salir, no hacer tantas actividades como si no tuviéramos nada. Es cuidarnos más. Hasta cuando ya usted tenga la vacuna, entonces ya puede salir
Poquito más.
poquito más.
Poquito más.
Poquito más. No hay que decir ya, pues,
No,
porque
no.
se chiflan, ¿verdad? Si así, el otro día estaba viendo que la gente anda en Cancún y anda como si no hubiera nada, y es lo que también me preocupa a mí. Es algo muy difícil porque todavía yo creo ni 1% de la población del mundo tiene la vacuna y todos andan como si ya no hubiera ningún problema. Entonces hay que como dicen, amarrarnos los pantalones. Todavía ya vamos a cumplir un año, no pasa nada de estar tranquilos, pero sí, por eso vemos estos casos subir. Como decía también el juez, somos el número 1 en el estado de Texas de los que hemos tenido más contagios. Eso no es algo de ser orgulloso. Eso no es algo que es de un partido político o de otro partido político. Este mensaje va a todos los ciudadanos del condado de Valverde, a todos los ciudadanos de la ciudad de Del Río, y es para protegernos a nuestros seres queridos y asimismo protegernos a nosotros. Juez, ¿algo más que quiere decir?
No, I mean, first, thank you for having me on.
No, you're welcome.
Just to hit some key points. If you go get tested, stay home till you get your results. You need to quarantine. Your family needs to isolate till you get your results. Once you come in contact with somebody that is positive, don't go test the next day.
Wait
Wait
at
7
least
days,
7 days.
and then
7
go
days.
get tested.
Okay.
The quarantine, we'll have more information on the quarantine. Just got a text message. We've got a phone call this afternoon, not on the quarantine, on the vaccine. I'm
On the
sorry.
vaccine.
We have a phone call this afternoon at 3 o'clock with the group here, Border Patrol, the port, Sheriff's Department, both school districts, hospital. We have that at 3 o'clock, and as soon as we get more information on the vaccine,
We'll
get it out to you.
Okay. Sounds good. That's going to be it for us. It's already 10:38. Pues tenemos varias cosas que hacer. Let's go ahead and play one of our sponsors here. We'll be right back with you guys with more information.
Oh, yes, we didn't even.
Border Chic Boutique, now open with all the new modern chic style clothing in town. We carry Del Rio's highest quality clothing, brands like Crazy Train and other popular boutique brands. We have the most affordable accessories, shoes, and jewelry. Come visit at 200 Western Drive inside the Easy Stop. Call us or send us a text at 830-765-0279. Visit our Facebook and Instagram page for specials and store hours. So dress to impress in a border chic way with Border Chic Boutique.
Border Federal Credit Union, your place for home equity loans. Rates as low as 2.75% APR. Rebates up to $1,000. Now's the time to check on yours. www.borderfcu.com. Your place for home equity loans right now. Rates as low as 2.75% APR with rebates up to $1,000. Visit your friends now at Border Federal Credit Union.
Global Glass LLC now offering glasswork on commercial and residential glasswork. Call them today at 830-765-4593 or 830-422-2299 with free estimates and now offering sneeze guards for your business. That's Global Glass LLC, locally owned and operated here in Del Rio. Stop by at 201 Veterans Boulevard for all your glass needs.
Howdy, Del Rio. This is Q with the Devil's River Beer Barn, 10382 Highway 90 West, out across from Blackbrush out by Lake Amistad. Please come out and see us. We got the coldest beer in Del Rio, famous micheladas every day, breakfast tacos Thursday, Friday, and Saturday. Our hours are from 7 a.m. to midnight, Monday through Saturday, noon to midnight on Sundays. We've got snacks, Cokes, sodas, Gatorades, Powerade, all kinds of merchandise. You name it, we have it. Come on out and see us. We appreciate everything Del Rio's done for us. Please come and see us.
United Medical Centers is proud to announce the addition of Dr. Stephen A. Burdick, DDS, to the team of healthcare providers. Dr. Burdick practices dentistry and is looking forward to assisting in the needs of serving the community. Schedule your dental appointment by calling 830-774-1700 at the 1117 West De La Rosa Dental Department. Patients will be seen Monday through Friday.
Skillets of Del Rio has new lunch items available now for dine-in or takeout. Delicious wraps, creamy and melty quesadillas, and their hand-breaded comfort food, the country.
This is the reflection of the day, brought to you by CNC Flower Designers. If you want to have friends, be a friend.
Si quieres tener amigos, sé un buen amigo.
This has been
Presentamos
the reflection of the day.
la reflexión del día.
United Medical Centers is proud to announce the addition of Dr. Stephen A. Burdick, DDS, to the team of healthcare providers. Dr. Burdick practices dentistry and is looking forward to assisting in the needs of serving the community. Schedule your dental appointment by calling 830-774-1700 at the 1117 West De La Rosa Dental Department. Patients will be seen Monday through Friday.
Skillets of Del Rio has new lunch items available now for dine-in or takeout. Delicious wraps, creamy and melty quesadillas, and their hand-breaded comfort food, the country fried chicken sandwich. Also, join the Skillets Lunch Club, where you buy 5 lunches and get the 6th one free. Call us for curbside service at 830-775-6060 or dine in with us at 2003 Veterans Boulevard. And remember to start your day the blissful way.
Hey Del Rio, Raul Rivas here, Brown Nissan of Del Rio. Just wanted to touch base and invite you to hit me up on my text line, 830-765-9991. What I want you to do is send me a picture of your vehicle, the VIN number, and the mileage. I'm going to shoot you back an immediate offer. This offer is going to be for trade-in or purchase. It could be anywhere between $2,000, $3,000, even $4,000 over market value. The current market conditions are very difficult. Vehicle acquisition is not as easy as it used to be because there is not available inventory at the auctions or even with the factories. So what I want to do is I want to buy your car, the car you're driving right now down Veterans Boulevard, Main Street, parked in your driveway, parked at work. Take a picture, send me the VIN, the mileage. I'm going to get you an offer. Come out and see us, Brown Nissan of Del Rio, 2300 Veterans Boulevard, 830-775-0566. Follow me on social media, hashtag Better Call Raul. Right on the price, right on the corner.
Oralia and staff at CNC Flower Designers, located at 1913 Veterans Boulevard, have a large selection of bouquets, fresh flowers, fruit baskets, balloons, plush animals, silk arrangements, and so much more. CNC Flower Designs for all your floral arrangement needs. CNC Flower Designs opens Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 6 p.m., Saturday 8 to 12 noon. Telephone number 830-774-7271. CNC Flower Designs, glad to make that arrangement